I even did a test on this. I pushed the button and let it run for a while, and it ran really good. So it looks like we should get pretty good signal here. I'm giving it another 5 or 10 minutes. Anybody that's listening to me right now knows I'm just testing this out. This is, okay, I think we're going to be, I'm just going to say we're ready to go. And this is Aric Leavitt, and he's been doing a series for us called Legends, Bluegrass Legends, Licks, and Lore.
Oh, yeah.
And in the weeds here with Aric Leavitt talking about the inner workings of bluegrass and where it started from and all that. And today, our subject is...
Today, I would like to talk about a whole chapter of bluegrass revolves around the legendary Stanley Brothers. I don't think that any presentation on bluegrass would be complete without something about the Stanley Brothers, Ralph and Carter. Known now as the Stanley Sound, and specifically the Stanley Sound heard around the world, because what emanated out of McClure, Virginia, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, western part of Virginia, the sound that emanated from those mountains there, the Clinch Mountains, has gone all over the world, and the Stanley Brothers are world renowned. Now this is really phenomenal. McClure, Virginia is hardly on the map. It's nestled right there in the Clinch Mountains of Virginia, which is part of the Blue Ridge Mountain system. And the Stanley Brothers have a distinct sound to their approach to mountain music. In fact, there are some people that say that Ralph and Carter Stanley have defined bluegrass. I can almost say that. In fact, there are times I do say that. Let's not forget that the father of bluegrass music is actually Bill Monroe from Kentucky. But the Stanley Brothers followed very closely behind Bill Monroe on his heels in the late 40s, early 50s period, and became very, very, very well known in that region. What is it about the Stanley sound that makes it so special? I don't know if anybody can really put a finger on that. It's a feel. To me, the Stanley sound is the soul of bluegrass. It's about as bluegrass soul as you can get. It's heartfelt. As I'm talking about it right now, I have goosebumps. So you can feel the energy coming from me when I talk about the Stanley Brothers. What I could probably do is play one or two tunes that they did. Let me tell you first of all that both the Stanley Brothers are now deceased. Carter Stanley passed away in the middle 60s. He died young, but not before he and Ralph had made tons and tons of recordings, because they go back to the 40s when they started recording. They were just very young men. And there was a closeness about Ralph and Carter that reflected in their music. And now, when Carter passed away, Ralph didn't know whether he wanted to go on playing music. It was so devastating. His brother's death was so devastating that Ralph didn't really think that he could go on, but he did. He felt that this would have been Carter's wish for Ralph to carry on the tradition and keep it going. And that's just what he did. The band became Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys. And they made hundreds of recordings point that even people that don't know much about bluegrass, they know about the Stanley Brothers. Because Ralph and Carter, as I say, pretty much defined bluegrass. Okay, so Ralph passed away just a few months ago. This very year, 2016. Earlier this year. And he was 89 years old. I saw him in one of his last performances here in Southern California. That was actually last summer. And he was weak and frail, and they had to help him on the stage, but he sang a few tunes. And one of these days, I will do a tribute. I will do a tribute to Ralph and Carter.
Oh, okay. I'm just here.
Stanley Brothers.
Oh, I see here.
And so their family will have this, because the Stanley Brothers are part of me.
Sunday. During the weekend, Saturday.